I just want to briefly tell you how to compute bond price using the financial calculator. And adjust it for per period, how to adjust the parameters per period. So as I have mentioned many times, there are 5 parameters that you need to include to compute the bond price or compute the yield to maturity. You always have 4 of them and you need to compute the 5th one. So the 5 parameters include FV, which is called future value, and for this subject it's usually face value or par value, and in most cases, by the default is $1,000, right? Then we have N. These are you can find them in your financial calculator. So FV, N, right? It's the 3rd row of your financial calculator. So for N is number of periods until maturity, right? Until maturity. So if it's annual, means if the payments are per year, if the coupon payments are per year, annual, then it's number of years. So if it's a 10-year bond or 5 years to maturity, if it's a 10-year bond or 10 years to maturity, if it's annual bonds, N is 10. And if it's semi-annual, so it's number of years multiplied by 2. The next thing you need to key in is PMT, or payment, or the fixed payment, the coupon payment. It's coupon rate percentage of par. And par is $1,000, right? For example, if it's a 5% bond, 5% coupon rate, means 5% of $1,000, means $50. So if it's annual, if the payment is per year, so it's just the coupon percent of $1,000. If it's semi-annual, it's coupon percent of $1,000 divided by 2. Because every year, for example, if it's a 5% bond, means if the coupon rate is 5%, means 5% of $1,000, $50. But if it's a semi, means $50 is paid in a year. But if it's a semi, so every 6 months, $25. So you need to divide it by 2 if it's semi. And then semi-annual. Then we have I over Y, or interest rate. So this is, or it's called yield to maturity. Yield to maturity means interest rate per year, right? Interest rate per period. If it's annual, if it's per year, the payments are per year, then it's interest per year, interest rate per year. And if it's semi-annual, means every 6 months, the payment is every 6 months, then it's interest rate per year divided by 2, means interest rate per 6 months. And then the 5th one is present value, right? And present value is price of the bond. So this is the way you can compute the bond price. So 5 parameters, you have always 4 of them, you need to compute the 5th one. So if I gave you all and I accept interest rate and I ask you to compute interest rate or yield to maturity, then you enter these 4 and then compute interest rate. But if I ask you to compute yield to maturity, if it was annual, very straightforward. If it was semi-annual, then you enter everything based on semi-annual. It means this one and this one. It means for number of periods multiplied by 2, coupon divided by 2. Then the answer you get from the calculator is the interest rate per 6 months, right? But for yield to maturity, we report it per year. So then in that case, you need to multiply it by 2 to have the interest rate per year. I already have shown you some examples, so just follow the instruction. So this is the summary of what you need to know to use to answer these questions using the financial calculator Texas Instrument BA2+. One more thing is, when you want to compute interest rate using the financial calculator, make sure that you key in price as a negative number. It must be negative. It cannot be all positive. So otherwise you will get error. So for price, make sure if you want to compute interest rate, it means you already have FV, N, PMT, and PV, and you want to compute interest rate. So then in this case, for present value, for PV, you need to key in this data, this information negative into the calculator. Just for the calculator, I'm talking about the calculator. Otherwise, you will get error. For more information about the financial calculator, please watch the video on the financial calculator Texas Instrument BA2+.